Hey guys, it's Matt, and today we're going to light up the LEGO Technic R34 GTR using some of LightMyBricks' DIY components. Okay, so first up, we're going to remove the headlights from both sides of the car. Now this is pretty straightforward to do. There's not many parts that you need to take off apart from the headlights. So for this particular DIY, we're going to use one of LightMyBricks' vehicle starter packs and some other components. So let's open up the box and I'll show you what's inside. So now that we've got everything laid out on the table, let's check out what's inside the box. So we'll have two 6-port docks, a USB power cable, some flux belts, and a bunch of Astro lights. Now these Astro lights will be in warm white or cool white, so you can choose how you want your headlights to look, and they'll also be available in large or regular size to see how bright you actually want them. Then you'll also have 4 red Astro lights for the tail lights. So I decided to go with the regular warm white Astro light. I don't want the headlights to be too bright and overpowering, and being that the car is technically a vintage car, I thought warm white would be more appropriate. So first up, we're going to bend the Astro light at a 90-degree angle, so that way it goes into the trans clear headlight piece. Once you've done that, then we're just going to reattach the bottom plate to hold the Astro light in place. Next, we'll do the second part of the headlight, same thing, bend the light at a 90-degree angle and slot it inside the trans headlight piece. And then we're going to reattach the 1x2 brick on top of that. Once you've done that, we can reattach it back to the front part of the car. You can get the wire and thread it through the bottom of the vehicle, which will thread out later on. We'll add the other part of the headlight back in as well and thread the cable down the bottom. Now go and repeat the same process for the left side of the headlights, remembering to thread the cables through the bottom of the car. Now that the headlights are done, let's flip the car around and start working on the taillights. Start off by lifting the boot of the car and then removing both the taillights. Now let's go ahead and grab our red Astro 30cm lights. So now we're going to take both those red trans clear pieces off the tail light and also the extra 1x1 round piece off the larger side so we can thread the cable through. We're going to bend the light again at a 90-degree angle, and this time we're going to thread it through the first red trans clear dish, then add the 1x1 cap back on it. For the second one, again bend it at a 90-degree angle, but this time we're going to thread it through the small Technic pin and thread it through and add the cap back onto that. And finally, before you reattach the tail light to the car, make sure you thread the wire behind the stud and put the 1x2 slope piece back on to hold it in place. So once you've done that, repeat the steps for the other tail light, and then remember to grab all 4 of the wires and thread them through to the bottom of the car. Next up, let's flip the car on its side to access the undercarriage. Then we're going to be using 4 of these Astro blue string lights, which you'll need to acquire separately in order to light up the bottom of the car. Next up, we're going to use some of these tether 1x1 pieces to hold the LED strings on the bottom of the car. You will need at least 4 of these packs, which will give you 16 pieces in total. The first string light we're going to use will be for the front end of the car. Grab the last LED at the end of the string and place it inside the 1x1 tether. Then you can take the 1x1 tether and LED and place it in this vacant Technic hole on this side of the car. Make sure to press down firmly so that way the tether clicks in place and it doesn't pop off. Then you can repeat the process for the other side of the bumper as shown below. The second and third string lights will be used for the sides of the car, and again repeat the process by adding the LED in the 1x1 tether and then placing it in the vacant Technic hole on the back part of the car as shown. Once you've done that, pull the string light to the front wheel arch of the car and remove this black Technic piece so that you can thread the cable through the hole. Pull the cable firmly and then reattach the Technic piece so that it holds the string light in place. Again, repeat the process for the third string light for the other side of the car. Now grab your last string light and a 1x1 tether. Make sure you put the tether on the second LED and then place it on the vacant Technic hole on the back part of the car as shown below. Feed the string light to the other side of the bumper and then slightly move the Technic pin on the exhaust tip and place the cable underneath and push it back on there to hold it in place. Now we can flip the car back on its wheels, and we're going to use a pack of these large Astro Blue 15cm LEDs, which you'll also need to acquire separately to light up the interior. Then we're going to bend the LED at a 90-degree angle and grab another one of our 1x1 tethers and thread it through as shown below. First up, we need to access the passenger side of the car, so we need to remove the 3 NOS bottles, which are just held by a Technic pin and pop out pretty easily. Then we'll grab our Astro Light and thread the cable through the first Technic hole, feeding the wire down to the bottom of the car. Make sure you pull the cable all the way through so we can secure the 1x1 tether and LED in the Technic hole. Now we can go ahead and put our NOS bottles back in and repeat the same step for the driver's side. Now we're going to start cable managing all our wiring one section at a time, starting from the front. Now guys, there's no right or wrong way in cable managing your wiring underneath the car. You're more than welcome to follow my trail, or you can come up with one of your own. So now we're going to use our first 6-port dock and 2 1x1 tethers. You want to make sure that you put the tethers underneath the dock so that way we can place it on the bottom of the car. Now grab the other 6-port dock and 2 1x1 tethers and repeat the same process. Now you can start plugging in the first section of the car, being the headlights. Now we'll grab the 2 cables from the interior lights, thread them through and connect them to the dock. Now let's move to the back part of the car and start threading the taillights. Now we'll need to use 2 packs of these split docks so we can connect up our blue LED string lights. These can also be acquired from the DIY range from Light My Bricks. Now grab another 4 1x1 tethers and place them underneath the split docks so we can mount them to the bottom of the car. And again, we'll start cable managing our string lights so we can plug them into the split dock. Next up, we'll need a pack of these 15cm flux belts so we can link up all our split docks. Start off by connecting the first 15cm flux belt to the front split dock as shown. Then cable manage it through the Technic holes and plug it into the first 6-port dock. Then grab another 15cm flux belt and connect it to the top 6-port dock. Now you can plug the other end into the other 6-port dock. Because of the short distance, you don't need to untangle the cable, so leave it bunched up. Now grab a 30cm flux belt and plug it into the last spot on your 6-port dock. Then plug the other end into your split dock. Now grab your 50cm flux belt and plug it into the split dock that's closest to the back part of the car. Now grab your USB flux converter and plug the other end of the 50cm flux belt into that and power it up. So I absolutely love the way these lights turned out on this car. The headlights are not overpowering at all, and the warm white really give you that vintage feel. The blue LEDs in the interior really capture that iconic Fast and Furious vibe. And as for the taillights, well, enough said, you know it's an R34 when you're placing it on your shelf. And as for the blue Underglow neon lights, well, that just takes me right back to 2003 where it all began. I'm a big Fast and Furious fan and Paul Walker fan, so to finally have a R34 GTR on my shelf with lights is special.